Yeah, so joining us this week has been Lee and Johnny McNichol. Both those guys, we'll see how they are after running around today. They're obviously getting checked to see how they came through training. And we'll be able to make a call on them, hopefully the captain's run. So we're giving them obviously plenty of time. The other one is Paul Asquith, whose virus is now, he's come right. So he had a full training session today after a light run yesterday. Aaron Shingler's back training after he was ill over the weekend as well. Post the game. So he's fine. Samson's come through fine, come through the game and has rehabbed well and recovered well, I should say, and trained well today. So yeah, pretty much Tyg Burns back, came through the his rest period with the ankle after the Blues game, so he's back on deck. And Lewis Rawlins' first game back on the foot injury, he came through his time on Friday night. So yeah, a better picture, a better picture. No, Scotty's trained well, and so is Gareth Davies. So the rest for those two has worked, and they're looking good.
I mean, it was a tough 10-day period, but if you chopped and changed as much as you needed to, do you feel you've actually, this week, you're beginning to get some preparation and you're not too far off where you'd hope to be? Yeah,
it's the same for both sides. You come through that Christmas period. It is difficult. There's not as much training, hands-on training time. So for our group, I can only speak on behalf of our group, but some of the fundamentals we sort of fall away from, and we've had to bring the guys back in and work on some of the basics of the game and make sure that we get our shape right and attack, and yeah, looking a lot better at training. So those extra couple of sessions that we've got in have been quite timely.
What do you make of Bath's return to form, I suppose?
Yeah, look, for us, as I've just alluded to, those short turnarounds, really this week's about trying to get our attacking game going again, get some consistency in our transitional play, making sure that when the ball is turned over that we get into our attacking shape as quickly as we can, understand our roles and make sure we're all doing the right things. We sort of, a couple of guys have been getting a bit lost in the attack over the last few games. So it's really been about ourselves. Obviously we're keeping an eye on Bath, and look, we just got to look back to when we played them last time. They were more clinical than we were, more disciplined than we were, played the conditions better than we did, and they got the result. So we've got respect for them. Obviously they've got some class players, and they had a good win on the weekend. So, and in their backyard, which will be a sellout, I'm sure. It's going to be a great atmosphere. So we're just really looking forward to the occasion. It's a must-win game for both sides. We both know that. So it's like a knockout game in itself. So, and we love competitive people like these sorts of situations. So everyone's looking forward to it.
What lessons did you learn from the first game that you can apply down there?
Well, we'll see what the weather throws up, but certainly the weather conditions weren't great when we played them, and we didn't play them as well as we should have. And they certainly showed us how the game should have been played, and certainly won them the game. We've got to learn from the mistakes that we made in terms of our discipline at the breakdown. We gave away too many silly, cheap penalties, which Reece Priestland converted into points on each occasion. So playing at the right ends of the field, being disciplined and taking our opportunities, that's certainly what they did to us.
Well, enough, I've seen a couple of these games of Bath at this stage, someone going to the wreck needing to win, completely and utterly outplaying them behind, as you could do, and just being ground out of it in scrum and line out. Do you feel you're actually better equipped than some of those other teams, the likes of Samson Lee back, that you can cope with what they'll throw you up front?
Well, certainly we've got an international level front row, and we'd expect them to step up in a big game like this. And we've got some internationals behind them in certain positions, so, and some players that aren't far off. So look, it's going to be a good challenge up front in the set piece, we know that. They're strong in that area, and we need to have some parity in that area to really have a chance, because it comes down to getting quality possession to be able to manage the game well.
So yeah, it'll be a big part of the game, I'm sure. their threats. Wayne, obviously the game against Toulon that they won, Watson had a great game, a couple of tries. You see him as a real threat behind Anthony Watson.
Yeah, look, he's British Lion, isn't he? He's got pace, he's got a step, and in hopefully dry conditions, he's going to be a danger man, along with Joseph. Obviously, a lot of healthy respect for them across the board, to be honest. A couple of quality nines, Reece Priestland, if he's in 10, we know him very, very well. So, and he's a class player. So, look, there's a lot of players. I don't think we're going to single out individuals. I think it's going to be a team approach defensively, making sure that we bring the necessary line speed and will to defend. It's been a strong point in recent times for us. So we've got to make sure that we go down there across the Bath and make sure that certainly we're very, very strong defensively. We're going to need to be.
Reece mentioned earlier that he didn't feel he fired a shot in the home game against Bath. Is that something, obviously not throw it about willy-nilly, but something you're going down there with an ambition to do, show that attacking game that you've got?
Yeah, we didn't convert too many shots, did we? We didn't make them count. One counted. I think we scored the only try of the game, and it was a pretty nice try when we look back at it today. But certainly across the board, I think what Reece is alluding to there is that the way we played the game, we didn't give ourselves an opportunity to win it. We just didn't manage the game well. Played at the wrong ends of the field, and then the discipline let us down. And on 6 occasions, they converted them into points. As simple as that. So, yeah, we didn't really fire too many shots because we were at the wrong end of the park. In those conditions, didn't allow us to. So, we've got to make sure our game management is good.
Jonathan Evans, the Mayor's has told us signed a new contract. Happy with that?
Yeah, with Allard going, it was important that we retain Johnny, and very happy that he's re-signed. He's one of our quality nines. We've got some good nines, so very happy that he's re-signed.
Obviously, everybody seems to talk about Gareth and Allard, obviously the internationals. How far off do you think? Is Johnny somebody that could potentially push for Wales honours? Do you think?
Oh, well, we don't sort of talk about the Welsh side of it too much. I mean, the selectors there select what players they believe will get the job done at their level and the way they want to play the game. For us, Johnny's played a lot of rugby since coming to the club, and he's played well for us. He's an attacking threat. It's one of his strengths, and he statistically is our best defensive nine. So, he's played quite a bit of rugby for us.
Has signing someone like him proved that that's been the bedrock of your success? Someone that you might not have thought of at the start of creating much headlines, but him, other people, that they've played a big part in your success and ensuring that you've got more depth.
Yeah, well, they've only played a part because they've earned the right to. In this group, form goes a long way to selection. And it doesn't matter who the players are, international players or not. If they're not performing, they don't get selected, and we've seen that in our selections consistently. So when Johnny came and I met with him prior to him signing to come, one of the things he said was, from an outsider looking in, it looks like if you play well, you get selected no matter who you are. And he just wanted to know if that was the case before he signed, because he knew he had 2 international halfbacks to compete with. And we certainly said that's the case, and if he was playing well enough, he'd get the opportunities, and that's how it's panned out. And all the boys know that, when they get selected, there's pressure there to perform, because there are other guys that are happy to when they get the opportunity to play as well as they can. And that's why we were successful last year, because there was a lot of competition in the group, and that's what you need to be successful. The players to push each other along in training and bring the best out in each other, and see that as a positive, not a negative. Because without playoffs, I think 32 game season, and that's without pre-season and playoff games. So no one can play all those matches. So you need that depth, and it's a good, healthy thing to have in the group. And our nines in particular over the last couple of years have been very, very competitive.